My name is Yusra.
And I'm Gilbert.
And today we have Welcome back to Eat and Talk, everybody. It's Yusra again.
And it's Gilbert again.
And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Sa, and he is the CEO of this wonderful, delicious gooey cookie company called Love You Cookie. So welcome.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have you here today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. So I ran across Love You Cookie on Instagram, and I was so excited to know that a great young black man was behind it, and a courageous woman, his wife, who couldn't be with us today, but I just want to give a shout out to both of them for taking the time to come. But before we get into Love You Cookie, let's get to know a little bit more about you today.
Okay. What do you want to know?
So tell me, where are you from? How did you get to? Don't get to where. Let's not take that deep in. But tell us where you're from first of all, your background and your childhood. I'd love to know more about that.
For sure. I was born in Sierra Leone, which is West Africa, and I lived there for about a year before a civil war started. And so when the Civil War started, my dad moved myself and my brother out to a nearby country called the Republic of Gambia. And from Gambia, moved to the UK. From the UK, came to Arizona as a refugee in 1998. Lived in Arizona for a long time, 9 years, before moving to Minnesota in 2005. And finishing high school here, then college, and then law school, and now I live and work here. I'm married a Minnesotan, and I'm stuck here forever.
Do you believe in the Minnesota accent?
Do I believe in it?
Yeah.
Like it's a real thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
It's real. It's real. Hey, you listen to my family. My wife's part of the family, and you will hear it very distinctly.
Accent.
Oh yes.
Okay.
That's funny. People say I have the Minnesota accent. I can't
I
tell.
don't understand the Minnesota accent. I really don't understand the Minnesota accent.
Apparently it's there. Okay, so you went from UK to Arizona, and how did you find your way to Minnesota? Was it because of school or?
Yeah, I mean, it was a combination of things. It was just a family decision. It was also I think at the time, Minnesota had really sort of good school system and was a great place to live, was supposedly a really great place to live, and there were just a lot of opportunities. It also had a really large and vibrant arts community.
Yeah.
So as somebody who was at the time an aspiring actor and that was really involved.
Oh, okay, hold on.
No, you said actor.
Okay,
Yep,
so
yep.
Mr. Versatile. So you were into acting.
I was.
Okay,
yeah.
can you tell
I
us a
still
little
am.
bit about? Okay, tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that.
Yeah, no, I've been acting since I was 2 years old,
wow.
and my dream has always been to be the next Denzel Washington.
Anything
that's
is possible.
That's my favorite actor.
Anything is possible.
That's my favorite
Anything is
actor, hands
possible.
down.
There are
Absolutely.
multiple. There's just so many more amazing actors out there, black actors. But Denzel was the one that really stood out to me. There weren't that many growing up to look up to. And I think I missed some of the earlier ones, the pioneers, even before Denzel. So when I saw some of his movies and I saw his versatility, I was just like, oh man, this man is clearly incredibly talented, and he's blazing a trail for people like me. I want to be like him someday.
So what's
You will. You will. Maybe
your
greater.
two
You
top
will.
Denzel Washington movies?
Two top. John Q.
Okay.
That's my
a-
favorite. That's
a
my
good
number
That's a
one
That's a
favorite
good one.
movie. Yeah.
And this one's hard. I would have to say it's actually a more recent one, Fences by August Wilson.
That's a good one.
I think his his depiction of that character was just phenomenal.
And where did you watch it? Because I'm sure our audience are gonna want to know where Netflix or.
Yeah, Fences is available actually on Amazon right
Amazon
now.
Prime, yeah.
And I think the other movie you can probably find on Netflix.
Okay.
I think. John, we watched it recently. And
John Q is pretty
YouTube
old.
movies.
It's pretty old.
It's
John
very
Q is
old,
pretty
yeah.
yeah, powerful performance though.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, my parents didn't let me used to watch like adult movies when I was younger, but that's one movie we could sit and watch together
Yeah.
because they wanted me to like learn about the importance of like having parents that love you, and that was a very good movie that taught you many lessons about the relationship with your parents and how they feel about you. So that was a very good movie.
So I kind of want to go back because I know you mentioned law.
Yes.
So tell us why you decided to take a step from the acting part to getting into law.
All right. You want to go deep, huh?
Yeah.
Multiple layers deep.
You have multiple layers. That's interesting. Now we're gonna go to cookies.
Then we're gonna
get to the
somehow
cookies
find
later.
our way to cookies. Sounds good to me. So, how did I go from pursuing an acting career to becoming a lawyer? I don't know. That's the short answer. The long answer is I think it was a process for me. I think in college I was still acting, still in theater, doing stuff like that, but my school didn't really have a strong theater program or an acting program. And I've always had a desire to understand economics, socioeconomics, how the law affects business and politics, how all of those things work together to lead to thriving societies. I'm from a third world country. At some point, Sierra Leone was the poorest country in the world. And so I had an interest in figuring out, or at least studying and learning political economics, and inevitably you learn about the law and how it shapes and forms policies that then affect an entire community or an entire nation. So Sierra Leone has a very weak rule of law. That means that, for example, if you wanted to create something unique and novel, there aren't a lot of protections for you. The intellectual property rights are weak. Somebody could come and steal your ideas, and so it deters people from creating things, and it deters innovation. And on the other side too, it's hard to really create a vibrant society when people aren't obeying the rules as to how we treat each other, how we relate to each other, how we do business, right? So for me, I wanted that. It was a personal thing because my parents are really involved in human rights and upholding the rule of law, challenging the government to really care for people in Sierra Leone, and they imparted that sort of those values to me as well, being an advocate on behalf of people. So those are some of the reasons. I was curious about that. I majored in politics and economics, and I was also really interested in solving problems. I'm good at it. I can analyze and think and figure out complex issues, and so that those skill sets sort of lend themselves to the law. So I went to law school. My dad was a huge influence on me going to law school. He really thought it would be a great way to be equipped to serve people, to help communities in different ways. And that sort of pushed me in that direction. And there didn't seem to be a lot of options for a young actor in Minnesota to really sort of go that, at least at the time. I didn't see a lot of options. I wanted to be in a career that was rewarding and that was also stable and would give me the resources that I needed to take care of my family. And going into the law seemed like probably the wisest choice at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, because you mentioned advocacy and branching out because of your background and where you came from. So what obstacles did you face being a Black man entering this career force?
You mean specifically entering
Law,
into the
yes,
pursuing-
into the pursuing law.
Well, there's just the reality that there aren't that many of us at all. There are not that many Black lawyers to look up to be mentored by. And that makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. Growing up in schools, I mean, how many Black teachers did you have? You know?
Right.
That's true.
And how would it have impacted you if you had a Black teacher who really came alongside and helped nurture your creativity or your genius? It would have made a world of a difference to some of us, right? Even being inspired to believe that you can achieve, you can do amazing things. You need to see somebody who looks like you doing that to say, okay, I can do that too.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I think that's definitely one of the obstacles. It's, being one of the only Black kids in my section, my law school section, and not having a lot of people to relate to, not having a sense of community or the type of support that I may have needed to excel and to do well, having to do it by myself, largely. And then there's all the other issues that come along with being a Black person in all white spaces, right? The law is, I don't remember the most recent statistics, but something like 70 to 80% white.
Wow.
The legal industry nationwide, and it's the least diverse industry in the whole nation.
Absolutely.
The least. It's also the most powerful industry in the nation, arguably, right? The law shapes everything that we see around us. Our policies and you talk about the criminal justice system.
That's a conversation that already.
That's a whole nother.
That's a conversation that already.
Right?
Yeah.
So personally, I felt like it was definitely a daunting and uphill climb just to choose to go this path and have so little examples to walk after, to look up to, and to solicit wisdom and advice and support from. But being in those spaces and experiencing microaggressions, experiencing racism in multiple different ways. We know it's not just one way.
Absolutely.
Racism has different faces, different manifestations. And having to deal with that, having to code switch all the time, not be myself in those settings, but trying to be what was most comfortable to my white counterparts. Seeing opportunities go to my fellow white associates that
that you deserved,
that could have come to me. Even having to wonder, well, why is it that I didn't get that opportunity? Why is it that I'm not getting the kind of investment and mentorship that this other person is? It's just so many layers of complexity when you're in that setting. You have this imposter syndrome on top of everything else because you're one of few in that place, and you're like, maybe I don't deserve to be here. Maybe I'm just here because they want to hit their diversity numbers, or maybe because that's what my colleagues are telling me. So there's just a lot of different pressures that are added to the pressures of the work itself, because it's not easy. It's one of the most high pressure, demanding atmospheres to be. And you have to be on. You have to bring your A game all the time, and so it can be an unforgiving environment. And I don't want to put a blanket indictment on all law firms, because there's certainly allies within these spaces. There's certainly leadership that get it and that are striving to address these issues, striving to make their law firms places where attorneys of color can thrive. But they have a long way to go.
Yeah.
There's still
Absolutely.
a lot of work to do.
Okay, so then my follow-up question to you, serious question is, so what is an advice that you want to give someone that wants to go into law?
Don't do it. Don't
That
do
was
it.
a quick. That was quick.
If you can do anything else, if you have an interest in doing anything else, do that thing. When you go into the law, when you go to law school, you better be passionate about what you're doing. You better have it in your clear in your mind that this is your calling. This is what you're supposed to be doing, because it can be a very hard, painful process, and it's an extremely expensive investment, right? And if you come out of it on the other end and you're not happy, or you're not thriving, or you don't love what you do,
Very draining,
it can be a very sort of discouraging reality. So, first advice is don't do it. But if you insist on doing it,
Be passionate.
then yes, be passionate, be clear, talk to lawyers, talk to current law students, get the real, right? Get the 411 on what it's really like, what it's going to be. Get the 411 on what the industry is currently like. Are firms hiring? Are there hiring freezes across the board? Is it a wise thing to do in this current economic atmosphere? So just do your homework.
Good. So we kind of talked about off before we recorded about the unprecedented times that we went through in 2020, and with COVID, and also with the recent unfortunate events for George Floyd. You mentioned that you were inspired to start your own company, which had a positive base. So today we have Love You Cookie, and you brought some samples for us, which I'm very excited to dig into. I want to know, how did you progress into starting this company?
Yeah, great question. Love You Cookie is a company that was born out of a desire, more an angst, to do something that would bring a little light into a very dark year.
Yeah.
Right? I think we were all sort of burdened by this heavy cloud of it was bordering on despair, right? There's so many things that concatenated that just mean they fell on top of each other, right? The pandemic, George Floyd's murder, and the murders of other black men and women, it all just kind of spilled over.
Yeah.
And then there was a sense of, what do we do? Right? I felt this very strong desire to do something, and I spoke at different events, and I spoke to the Minnesota legislature to try to give recommendations for policy changes when police are interacting with people of color in the community. I try to think of different things to do, and it never seemed to be enough. It never seemed to be satisfying enough for me. I kept getting back to this place of despondency. Like, the issues are so huge. The economic disparities in this state and all across the nation are so vast.
Absolutely.
How do you begin to breach that? What do you do? And not to mention, people are stuck inside and can't do anything. They can't touch each other. You can't hug anybody. You can't you can't go on a date. Right? Like, it's everything's on lockdown. So what do you do? And so Love You Cookie was born out of that. It was like, how can we give people something so good that it would make them be a little bit more joyful, a little bit more optimistic about the future. It would unite people, right? Across political differences, it doesn't matter what you ascribe to. If a cookie is good, it's good.
It's good, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like there's so many serious things. How can we not be serious about it? It's a cookie.
Yeah.
It's the best cookie you'll ever have, and you can just eat it and enjoy it, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And you can keep eating and keep sharing, and it's actually the cookies, we made them intentionally large.
Yeah.
So that people share with one another. You share with somebody.
Okay.
Somebody you love, presumably.
Okay. I like that.
But you don't have to. Most of us,
I mean, I won't, but I love that.
most of us find ourselves not able to share. You know, you just get one bite and it's all gone before you know it.
So what was the challenging part of coming up with the name?
The name was the easiest part.
I was gonna say, yeah, the name. How did you come up with it?
We were sitting around our kitchen table, like literally throwing out different. It was 10 minutes of throwing out different name ideas, and I don't know who said it. It was me, my wife, her sister, and Kamal, my one of my best friends from college, and we're sitting there, and we're just kind of throwing different ideas out there, and then somebody said "Love you, cookie," and we're like, "That's it."
Mm-hmm.
It's
love it.
we can't. There's the ways that we can communicate our love has been limited severely because of everything that's going on, but you can communicate love and care by giving somebody a cookie. Not just any cookie, the best cookie they'll ever have.
So what makes it the best cookie?
I want to see the cookie. So I've been staring at that box for a while.
What makes it different?
Let me see that cookie.
What
than other
makes it different?
cookies.
So if you look over there, you can kind
Ooh.
of see inside the cookie. It's a complex cookie.
So chewy.
There
and
are different
soft.
elements
I
at
know.
play.
Yeah.
And you just said it right
Yeah.
there. There's a crunchy on the outside, gooey and soft on the inside, and it maintains that consistency for a long time. That one in particular is our flagship. It's the chocolate chip cashew with sea salt. They both have sea salt sprinkled on top. And it's just these different elements come together. My wife created the recipe, Sarah, and it comes together so well and so balanced that it kind of overwhelms. Like if you've ever had a chocolate chip cookie and then you have this, you feel like you've been cheated your whole life.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's another level. It's a luxury cookie.
Yeah. So where can people get these cookies? Where?
Yeah.
I remember you said at multiple locations, but tell us. I know you have a website,
Yes.
and mainly it's Minnesota locally
Well, we
branded in stores, correct?
Right. So anybody outside of Minnesota can get it via our website, loveyourcookie.com. We ship nationwide. And anybody who's in Minnesota can certainly order from the website, but you can also get it from 16 different locations around the Twin Cities.
I seen it at the, I think, was it the Seward Co-op?
Yes.
Yes, that's where I saw it.
Yeah, so we're at a lot of the local
I'm
co-ops in
just
town.
going in this because I don't want you to touch this one.
Which one? That's the chocolate chip one?
Yeah.
Yeah, Seward, Linden Hills, the Wedge, Eastside Co-op. We are at the Nashville Coop restaurant.
Yeah.
We are also at Spy House, all the Spy House locations in town, including
Nice.
the Emery Hotel, and quite a few other coffee
Wow,
shops.
So beautiful. So these are two flavors here. So we
Yes.
have your favorite.
This
We were
is
gonna
my
ask you,
favorite.
what's your favorite cookie? This is the one.
Yeah, this is the double chocolate peanut butter.
Okay.
And this is my favorite because I'm a peanut butter fiend. I love peanut butter. I
Yeah.
go in on peanut butter with a spoon. This cookie is sort of like the Juicy Lucy of cookies.
Ooh.
I
It oozes
nicknamed
peanut
it-
butter.
That's what it is. I nicknamed it the Juicy LYC, and that's because it has that effect when you break it open.
Yeah.
Peanut butter
I'll save
Comes
that.
out.
Oh, it looks delicious. I'm excited. We're gonna have.
I can't wait to.
We're gonna have our guests try it today
Yeah.
too. But yeah, so I guess that's what we're gonna close off with. That you can, people in Minnesota, get the cookies from 16 different locations here in Minnesota, online as well. We have the Instagram page up, loveyoucookie_. Dude, that looks so good. Oh my, it does look like a Juicy Lucy cookie. That's awesome. But thank you so much. Any closing last minute words that you want to say to anybody out there who's watching this?
No, I really appreciate you guys having me on here. We're just getting started. We're excited.
Yeah.
We have a great product, and we've had some amazing partnerships with local retail locations and coffee shops in town, and we're continuing to expand and spreading the love. I'm just thankful that I get to be on a team with the most talented people.
Yeah.
Love working with them, and we have a lot more coming.
Yeah.
A lot more good stuff on the way.
Well, I was gonna say one more thing. Sorry. What is the future of Love You Cookie? Where do you see it headed? Like, what is your goal and dream for this?
I think the sky is really the limit. We're gonna take this as far as we possibly can.
It smells so good.
Oh my god.
We love to have a Love You Cookie storefront in multiple locations in Minnesota. We'd love to, have it at every Starbucks and every retail location, Target. I mean, these are all things places we want to see our cookie reach. And we'd love to be in the state fair. We'd love to.
That's if the state fair comes back.
Yeah, once it comes back.
think it
And
will.
we're hopeful that it will.
Yeah. Definitely.
But it would be great to add a black-owned cookie business into the mix at the state fair. I think our cookies are unique enough that they're not like the other cookies that are out there, and so we'd love to have all of Minnesota get their hands on one.
Love it. Well, Mr. Junior Denzel, Mr. Lawyer, Mr. Cookie Chef in the
CEO.
kitchen, CEO, everything.
Everything.
Thank you so much. We're gonna dig into these cookies, but anything else you want to add on or ask?
Oh, I just want to congratulate you though for starting a cookie business in the middle of everything that's been going on in 2020. And we're wishing you the best of luck.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try the cookie.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad that she took my favorite one, but
Oh yeah.
we'll share.
You can try.
Yeah, it's meant to be shared though. So
It is
we'll
meant to.
share.
I do want to try that
It's meant to be
too.
shared, so we'll share that one.
I guess
So
we're gonna
thank
share.
you again though.
Absolutely. Thank you
No,
guys.
thank you so much. I love that the concept that you called it Love You Cookie and it's made from love. So it made me feel happier already. So it's
Yeah.
good. So thank you.
Thanks,
We're
guys.
out.